Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrestling with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it locked just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face, I know you felt those. Had y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Wrestling with them Wrestling Boys. On the POT, alongside my tag team partner Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of premium wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
Brother. Welcome back to Welcome to Wrestling. Wrestlemania 42 is in the books, and this is supposed to be episode 70. But this is going to be episode 420 because it's Monday morning about 12:45 and it's 420 and we're going to talk about WrestleMania 42. So, smoke them if you got them. And
well, we still got to do number shout outs.
Okay, I already know what you're going to say.
No, you don't.
Episode 70. Let's hear it.
I got two, and okay. I know you probably don't know what I'm about to say. First of all, Jim Marshall, great defensive lineman from Minnesota Vikings back in like the 70s, number 70, where he was the one that ran the touchdown in the wrong end zone. He's kind of known for that, but he actually was a great football player. And two is the Atlanta Falcons left tackle, Jake Matthews, number 70. So, well, that's all I got, man. I couldn't think of nothing else, man.
Right. Well, listen up, bro. WrestleMania 42 again is in the books, man. In the books. All right, so we're feeling good. We're ready to talk about it. Let's talk a couple of things first. Let's talk Hall of Fame. Let's talk about the whole WrestleMania weekend. Let's talk Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Tell me what all you thought about it, and let's get it going. Get the conversation going.
Well, of course, they started out with Stephanie, which I thought was a great speech. It was Linda and their three daughters inducted her, and you heard the accolades that Linda was telling us, all the things that Stephanie has accomplished, and it also gave you more of an insight of her background, as far as interning with the company and working in the marketing department, and then being Linda's assistant and her dad's assistant, and you just kind of hearing the whole story, how she's the boss's daughter, but she still earned her way. They made her earn her way through different jobs and stuff to learn the business and everything, which is, what you're supposed to do, especially with the child of yours. But just hearing that story, hearing that, was very intriguing. Then of course we all already heard kind of like how her and Triple H kind of how they got together. I used to sit in meetings and and flirting and him just being non-traditional, and she was turned on by the bad boy and that whole little thing. So that was kind of funny. But even just the speech, she told the Andre the Giant story of when she was 14, they went to dinner and he ordered everything on the menu, drinking wine, and he just bust out laughing, and he was they think I'm a dirty old man, and just the story. She said this then she's in high school. She come home and Ric Flair sitting in her living room, you know, and
Yeah, yeah.
she,
Hogan was there to see her off to her dance or a prom or something. That's crazy.
right, right.
Yeah,
So she, you know, that's all she knew. Just growing
yeah.
up, that was her life, you know. And I guess when she got a little older and looked back at it, even now her telling the story, reminiscing, it's like I I didn't have a regular life
Mm,
growing up, you
right.
know. Uh, so you know, I just kind of cool to hear her speech and hear her tell those stories, and then I also like how at the very end she turned into heel Stephanie,
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
yeah, and finish it off that way, and I
yeah,
really thought that that was pretty cool.
yeah. Um, the charity that she runs and all that stuff, and she put a video package in there and had some of the people there. That was cool. You know, I just you 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 see the character that you see on TV, and you don't really know the real people. You might meet one or two of them and maybe build a relationship or whatever if you're lucky. You know, but you know, she just seems like not a. She's the opposite of what you think a McMahon would be. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right,
really, really. And I learned a few things about it that I didn't know before, and I thought the whole thing was cool. Um, she definitely got more time than anybody, you know, and they did. We didn't get event sighting, so you know, which is what you got to think about is sad, man, and you got to look at yourself and look in the mirror, and you know, when you do things like that, it doesn't just affect you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And we're not saying anybody's guilty because we don't know what's going on. We weren't there, but you know, to not be able to go to your daughter's Hall of Fame induction of the company that you built is just crazy, and it should make yourself look at yourself and really think if you're guilty of this stuff. Like you didn't just harm some lady or hurt your reputation. Like it's really costing you. You know what I'm saying? Because Vince is up there in age. Like you don't know how many more things or you know he can get to see or be there for. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So,
right.
you know, it just ran through my mind. But yeah, man, it was definitely cool. That she shot out Shane, and it was weird how they said no matter what, you know, I still love you guys no matter what happens. Like you know,
Yeah,
and he
I
wasn't there.
noticed that too. Yeah,
And they didn't show them or they weren't there or whatever. You know, so just weird. You know that was weird. But
I picked up on that as well.
yeah, as you should have. See ball, get ball. But I thought the whole thing was cool. I thought Michael Cole and the Miz did a good job. Miz is good at everything, hate him or love him, you know. The AJ, we got to see the Good Brothers induct them kayfabe fools. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was, you know, it was just perfect for AJ. I don't think there's nobody better that he spent the most time with them in the WWE after, even
Right,
though them being let go twice and being brought back, you know, but you know, they went there together. They were in the, you know, in Japan together in the Bullet Club, and the stories, the you know, the little small few two stories that they told. And I love it how Gallows and them they talk about his accent. Him
hmm.
saying you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But AJ's speech was good, you know, and he's just phenomenal, man. It's crazy that it's like Barry Sanders with so much of that gas left in the tank, and I know you're up there in age, but you know Barry could have padded his stats for 2, 3 more years, easy.
Absolutely right.
You
Right.
know, and the same goes for AJ. Same goes for AJ. It just makes me think about when they was overseas. What was that? When they were in France, and the crowd was so loud, man. The camera was shaking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody got that pop that night like that. You know what I mean? So, man, shout out AJ Styles, man. Well deserved Hall of Famer. And yeah, man, he's a Hall of
Well,
Famer now.
yeah, and one more with the Hall of Fame that I really, of course, it was definitely other inductees as far as Bad News Brown and
Yeah,
Sid
man.
Vicious and Dennis Rodman with the trip. We got to talk about him real quick too. But I want to
Yeah.
point out Demolition. There was one stat that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, yeah, with the title reign.
Yeah, they had the longest tag team WWF WWE / tag team title reign for years until the Usos broke their record.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that was
wasn't that long ago.
right,
You know, but
right.
that was
Yeah,
a long record to have.
yeah. So, like I said, I know we was kind of like on different pages with Demolition for different reasons. I know it wasn't necessarily more of them in itself. It was kind of like, their gear and stuff just made them look. The visual that it gave you
Yeah,
made you
it's hard to take. It was
lose.
hard to me. It was hard to take them serious.
Yeah, I understand that, but and that's your opinion on it. But I always looked at them as some badasses, uh, because they was dominant and they were Road Warrior knockoffs, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and to a certain extent, right? It was definitely copying their gimmick, did a little different look, but with the face paint and the spikes and stuff. But I
yeah,
always thought that they was badasses, and they ran roughshod through that whole division at
yeah,
least for about 2 years there. So I was all about Demolition
yeah,
and Fuji and that whole little thing though. And
yeah,
also
yeah.
I thought Barry Darso, I thought it was cool how they had Double A,
Bro,
Haku,
Haku and the
and
Warlord.
Warlord. Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't say much. It wasn't the highlight of the night, but I thought that was cool. And it's always great to see Double A,
always.
always.
Yeah. What you think I was gonna do? Fade to black?
Right. And then also you find out that Double A and Darso are like, you always knew
Real
Double
close.
A and Bobby Eaton was good friends.
Right,
And
but
of course,
you never heard
Double
anything about him and Darso. Yeah,
right. So I thought
man,
that
that
was
was
that
cool.
was that was really cool. And also Bill Edie, of course, who was also the Masked Superstar. Just hearing them stories of telling how they got together, how Vince, with the Darso and like, hey, can you be this? And he's like, he didn't know what the heck it was, but he was like, yeah,
Right,
Uh, but even with Bill Edie, they had like a lawsuit with Bill Edie. I don't know if Darso was involved, but Bill Edie had a lawsuit going on with the WWE, like about some concussion stuff, and it was him and another group of other wrestlers that was involved in this lawsuit. You can look this up, but I don't know verbatim which other wrestlers was involved in this. But you heard him made a comment that he wasn't sure if this day will ever come.
yeah, yeah,
They just signed a Legends deal with the company last year. Like it's basically them embracing them back in the family. So I'm glad that they was able to get their flowers because just like we talked about with other wrestlers, like a Sid or somebody who Vader who didn't really get to get their flowers. Yeah, their families and or even as fans, like, okay, yeah, they deserve to be notified and getting the Hall of Fame. But then you got somebody like the Midnight Express, who we always talk about, who should be in the Hall of Fame, WWE or
right,
not. And now you got Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton that's no longer with us and rest in
right.
peace. But it just makes you wonder. So I was glad that Bill Edie and Barry Darso was fortunate enough to get their flowers.
Yeah, and it seems like now that the speaking of Sid, let's talk about that. So it almost seems like the wrestlers that passed away are thrown into this legacy wing now.
That's
You
right.
know, and what's going to happen? What are you going to do that with the Midnight Express? And this year, man, they just showed a picture of their family and moved on. Like
Right.
it was a small video package, but
Yeah,
you
it
know,
wasn't. It was
Sid
barely a mention.
and Sid's oldest son, he told he was not happy. He wrote that it was very disrespectful and very what did he say? It was very upsetting, disrespectful, and disappointing, to say the least. And they felt like it kind of, kind of messed his legacy up a little bit. Like, because to me, like, Sid should be a Hall of Famer. It shouldn't be nothing about no legacy wing.
Especially Sid.
Come on, like
Especially Sid.
You had the title at both places. Like, not too many people did that. And if they did, they're all in. They'll be in the Hall of Fame.
And he may have been at WrestleMania. And he may have been at WrestleMania twice.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sid.
The master and the ruler of the world, bro.
I told you he invented the fist bump, man. But that was kind of sad, man. And it like you don't like you take Big Boss Man and different guys like that. The whole family was up there. Kurt Hennig, when the whole family was up there, they got to say their speech, talk about their dad, husband, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't necessarily agree with them going away from that. Let them.
I agree.
They're not here to receive it, so give their family something besides a ring and a 30-second video package and a picture.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, man. So that was kind of tough, but as far as that, man, the Hall of Fame was, of course, it had AJ Styles, bro. It wasn't a letdown. I hate it for them guys. Let's talk about Rodman. So we was kind of looking at it today, going to baseball practice on the phone.
Right.
And my son, who thinks he's Evan Jr. thinks he's the sports analyst, knows everything about sports at 15 years old right now. So he tripped out. He was like, Rodman wrestled? He was like, he's just a rebounder. And I'm like, dude, he's a Hall of Fame rebounder. And then I told him, I said, Rodman was in the NWO, and he just flipped out. So we watched the speech and watched the Untold with Rodman and your boy Karl Malone and stuff like that. He was just in awe, like, and I was
had no clue.
Right. Yeah. I was like, bro, and I was trying to tell him about, you don't remember The Last Dance when they were talking about that?
Right. The Michael Jordan documentary. Right.
Yeah. So, which was one of the greatest documentaries ever. That's 10 hours of nothing but, because you don't get much from Jordan. We ain't going to talk about Jordan because we're talking about it's WrestleMania. But yeah, if you ain't never watched The Last Dance, you don't know what you're missing. But what you think about Rodman getting inducted in the celebrity wing? Which is, if you're gonna have a celebrity wing, you gotta have Rodman in there.
Oh, I thought it was well deserved. I mean, of course, it was kind of shocking because normally the celebrity wing is anybody affiliated with WWE. Mm-hmm. What if it was, because they appeared that Pete Rose been at WrestleMania getting, tombstone by Kane several times, or Snoop Dogg been guest at a few WrestleManias and, stuff like that. So Mike Tyson, which, of course, his involvement with WrestleMania and wrestling over the years. So, normally they get somebody like that. But Rodman was kind of shocking. He was like, well, he ain't really been a Raw host or WrestleMania, even though it was a little different because he was WCW and he was an NWO, but hell yeah, if you're gonna put a celebrity in there, I mean it's Dennis Rodman. And he was in the NWO for Christ's sake. So I was all for it, you know what I mean? Now it's funny because everybody had tuxedos and stuff on, and Rodman came on with his like he against the grain, and it was so Dennis Rodman. It was so Dennis Rodman. I was almost would have been I didn't know what to expect from him,
Disappointed. Yeah.
but I almost would be disappointed if he would have came with a. It was so Rodman, you know. What I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Rodman, you know. Um, it's always good to see Big Sexy and Kid together, and
Yeah.
Sexy just so smooth. Like him or not, man, he Big Daddy Cool for a reason, man,
Yeah.
and he nobody would never ever be able to take that away from him. He's just so smooth with just how he carry himself and everything. So shout out Kevin Nash, man, for
Yeah.
that.
And Stephanie also called. She was like, I'm gonna talk about my brothers or my boys or whatever. And she actually called out Kevin Nash's name.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure
So
did.
yeah, man.
So but that in itself though, so of course it wasn't much of a much of a speech, they said a few things or whatever. They kept it light, and then Worm, his speech wasn't the greatest, because he's a wild card, but he's so unique with his personality, man, and then he got emotional.
Yeah.
And you could kind of tell that he really was like touched by the fact that the wrestling community embraced him and inducted him into their Hall of Fame, because like that's like really like he's a basketball player, like
But he loves wrestling. The
right,
being the NWO, being involved, and he also, when Hogan had that celebrity wrestling thing, that little reality show at one time, Rodman, I believe he won it, didn't he? And they went through all that training and all that
right,
stuff. They went through everything. Like, he just didn't show up and and get to hit somebody, and the dude really put in some work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, which
Yeah,
doesn't
still
surprise me
practicing
because it's
Mr.
Dennis
Gang,
Rodman.
Nitro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, for real.
When they showed a clip about Hogan saying Phil Jackson was calling Hogan's phone, that was on that. No, that was on the Untold today. We was watching that. That man
Yeah.
Hogan said, man, he was like, he was like, Phil Jackson keeps calling. They need you back. He was like, man, I don't want to go back. They was out there having a ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but shout out Robin, man, Rodzilla.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I thought that was cool. And then also he of course he shout out Nick Hogan and just kind of talked about how
Yeah.
Nick went through some things, and it's good to see him become a grown man. He remember him when he was 3 years old, and
Yeah.
just
Crap this happened to him, yeah, with the car
yeah,
crashes and all that stuff.
right. So it was just cool just for him to get his flowers, and of course he's already in the basketball Hall of Fame. But it's funny. You said your son's like he's just a rebounder, and it's like
You have no idea.
yeah. He
You have no
was a
idea
great rebounder, but he's a
right,
great
but you have
defender.
no idea about the defense, about the head games, about how
Right.
physical he was.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
start playing basketball until he got into college. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Like, and he got rings, not just with the Bulls. So he was one of them original Detroit bad boys from the
Right.
Pistons. Yeah.
With Lambert and Mahorn and
Yeah.
Sally. Yeah.
I don't think Bill Laimbeer family don't like him. I don't think there's anybody in the world, unless they live in born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, likes Bill Laimbeer. Bro, they used to rape Jordan, man. They owe that man so many dinners. You know what I'm saying? Jordan and Isaiah still don't talk to this day. They still beefing.
Isaiah should be on that dream team, but hey, I guess that's his own fault, right?
No.
Hey,
Zeke
Jordan Pippen
got
was like,
Zeke got everything with a gold medal.
Hey, what Jordan 50 said, we will not be on this team, that man on this team. So they were like,
Man, and they
well,
said that they no Isaiah questions, no Isaiah Thomas questions. Not answering them anymore. You're not a horseman anymore.
oh man.
That motherfucker said, I bought you some time. Get out of this business.
Bought you some time.
I bought you some time. Okay, we can't talk. We're gonna get to WrestleMania. We're gonna get there. Eventually. It's 420. We got all night. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. But excuse me. Pardon me. But we gotta talk Jey Uso and Cam. And Jey Uso, I'm sure everybody's seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go check it out. We don't have a video clip for you. We ain't there yet. So, but anyway, I tell you what, we are.
It's live, pal. Sorry.
We're live, pal. But so Jey Uso was on the Killer Cameron, and your boy Reverend, he ain't Reverend anymore, but Mace. And it was weird from the get-go. Like, you know, everybody's playing it as a, you know, as a work or whatever. And I don't know if it was. I'm sure it was. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see it. Wasn't no Cam at WrestleMania or nothing. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing set up. No, he gonna be at Raw tomorrow. I don't know. But he jerked that fool across the table and shot him one. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, bro, the energy was crazy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they play if it is a work, which I think it is, they played it cool and played it good. You know, but Cam was throwing shots. You know, talking about, you know, your dad's up here, you know, but what happened to you? Which clearly, when you say stuff like that, it's like you're not really paying attention. You don't know much about wrestling, because Jey Uso, former world heavyweight champion. So with Yoko and The Rock and Roman, like, he's in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Rikishi was never world champion. Rikishi, Intercontinental champion. You know, and tag team champion. So, you know, I don't know, man. I thought it was good TV. I'll tell you that, and get people talking. What you think about it?
Well, of course, when I first saw the clip, before I watched the interview, I saw the clip, and my initial reaction was like, man, it's got to be a work.
Yeah.
But then I watched the interview, and I was, like you said, it was awkward. There were a lot of mud slinging from the get-go. And another thing that was really crazy about the interview was, you know, Jey Uso was like, you know, he was a fan. You know, he told the story about how he was wearing pink because of Cam, you know, the whole Dipset movement.
Yeah.
And he told the story out in high school, and he had this outfit where he had the pink long T-shirt and everything, and his brother Jimmy stole his outfit, and they got the scrapping and all this other stuff, you know, which that came back into play of the interview, because Cam made another slick comment about, you know, how your brother just kind of chumped you off, you know, whatever.
That showed me what kind of character you got anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was throwing shots.
Yeah. So the whole time, and then it really went sideways when Mace asked him, you know, because, you know, obviously the family is huge or whatever, great wrestling storyline, bloodline, if you will. And they asked him where did he rank himself? And, you know, it wasn't, Jay didn't get no clear answer. Of course, he didn't just say, yeah, well, The Rock and Roman are just, they and Yoko was ahead of me or whatever. He, of course,
Yeah.
he currently doing his thing, but he also promote WrestleMania. So he's like, yeah, I'm right up there with them. And then they were like, no, no, and just it really got sideways then. And
When
then well, go ahead.
when Cam said, "I'm not mad at you, Mace. I'm mad at the producer. Why are
What
y'all keep getting us Saturday wrestle
Saturday?
instead of Sunday wrestle?" I was like, "Wow." You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like that was, and
yeah,
that's
but
and he was like, I ain't gotta be here. I'm a dip. And then he just jerked that joke across the table, man, and shot him one. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
And then when he hit him one time, that made me think like it might have could have been real, because if it was a work, he might have just went off on him or did something like that. You know what I'm saying? They made it shot him a couple of times. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
I thought it was real. Like, but then they mentioned Cam did say he was gonna be there Saturday night. So then I was like,
Yeah,
well, it's a work. But then when, of course, I know we're gonna talk about WrestleMania in a second,
yeah.
but Cam didn't show up on camera at WrestleMania. So now I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't a work. Which anything can happen going forward,
Mm.
but I think it was real. I think it was real.
Well, we're gonna find out. If they come to Raw and lock him up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Cameron shows up, press charges, which he ain't gonna do because Cameron ain't gonna get. They're gonna be calling him a snitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But if they do something crazy or Adam, if they do something with it, I mean, we'll eventually find out. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
But
But
Jay Uso better be glad that wasn't Drake, but he'll get lawyers get involved quick.
hey, but even but Jey Uso was throwing him back now.
Yeah, he
He was
was just like
when,
what he told him. Jim Jones was his favorite, and you know how the dip said.
and they ain't cool. They ain't really cool like that no more.
That's why he said it.
Yeah, so I'm like that. I don't know. See now, when you think about it, man, I don't know. It could have been real now. Jey Uso a hothead, boy. He got a
Hey, for real, right?
loose cannon.
Hey, that Virgo. Shout out Virgo.
Right. Hey, and I want to say I really enjoyed the Ocho Cinco, and I ain't a Shannon Sharp guy, man. I watch it sometimes.
Mr. Ed.
Hey, man, it's some guys are just hard to take serious, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he be talking his ass off.
Man, and he's so country, and then the what you call it threw me off. The damn man, Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks, when it used to be real good back in the day when they had the Ravens on there that one time.
Yeah,
That threw me off
Jared
too.
Goose and all them.
Yeah. Restitution. I need restitution. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about WrestleMania, the WrestleMania experience for a minute.
Okay.
And I don't want to talk about. We're not going to talk about prices and money and all that stuff no more. I mean, not about WrestleMania. We've already talked about it. So has everybody else. That's not what I mean. Me and you, and we're going to one day, but we haven't had that WrestleMania experience. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I had a little WrestleMania experience this weekend. And I got a shout out to, besides the Good Brothers, the hottest indie wrestler on the scene. We talked a little junk and made some, little remarks because we reached out to him about getting on the podcast and the price was ridiculous. But shout out to him and his streaming team. Shout out Zillify too, man. I watched, they streamed live the whole time he was doing the signings. and they would walk through, and his little crew or whatever. And he's got everybody working, all his brothers, his mom, everybody is there with him always. The couple of the brothers in charge of doing the photos, and everybody's involved. But the streaming that they did, man, you saw so many people coming up to him, and different wrestlers and stuff. He would walk by, and the dude is just such a humble dude. First of all, and I've said this before when I started watching his when he first started, people started recognizing. Some people just don't interact with the fans like that. And he don't just sign picture and say thank you and get in there. He's got a whole thing that he does with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I always talk to him and just carry on a whole conversation. That line had to be hella long. He was taking time with everybody. And that's why that dude gonna be a superstar, man. When you're humble like that and he stay that way, boy, sky's the limit, because he's already talented.
Right.
He's already part of the biggest family in wrestling. He's already a part of that bloodline. And he's the 4th rope champion and the Hall Crown Jewel champion, the HOG House of Glory, which the Good Brothers wrestled there this weekend too. But man, Zilla Fatu wrestled Brody King and Karrion Kross this weekend. Like, them ain't no chumps. You got an active AEW wrestler and a guy that's finna take over the Indies. Karrion Kross, him, and after being released or quit or whatever he did, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which I think he left because, or didn't re-sign.
He didn't he didn't extend his contract or whatever.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons, if I can remember, was they didn't offer his wife and all this stuff. And, but shout out to him, man, because shout out to him, like him, Good Brother, man, them guys are killing it on the Indies. They are killing it. They're going everywhere, man, everywhere. But Zilla, man, the streaming made me feel like I was almost there, dog. It's so cool. It was so cool to watch.
Okay.
And he was just going around and different wrestlers and stuff. If he didn't know him, he introducing himself. You know what I'm saying?
That WrestleCon?
Yeah, it was just a couple of different things.
Yeah.
I think they had WrestleCon Friday and Sunday. And they did everything. They streamed the matches live. Like, they really doing something with their internet, man. Some guys just can take over and just really figure it out. And he doing it. And then he coming up, introducing different indie wrestlers that you might not know, and giving them their Instagram. And I've been trying to get him his YouTube page together. We helping him do it right now. The man is humble. He's staying down, and I never seen anything like it. Besides, like, the Good Brother stuff, with the way they interacted with us when we met about a month ago. Besides this, I ain't never seen nothing like that. Never seen somebody interact like that, and that's gonna make. And I ain't speaking on the man because we don't know the details, but I'm almost like 90% sure he ain't off parole yet. And WWE is not going to hire you when you're still in the system. And I think that's what they're waiting on. And hopefully I'm not offending nobody by saying that, but I'm almost 90% sure that's what it is. Because that's all he ever talks about is that's what everybody said. When are they? You should be up there now. You should be up there now. I don't think it's possible right now. Because he's already, in with Booker T, being trained by him. They had a thing where they fell out, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning. And I think he had to grow up a little bit, end up going back. That's when him and Jacob started riding together and tag teaming together before Jacob got called up. And the man just been blowing up ever since. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna spend all day talking about Zilla Fatu, but I just think it was so cool, man, to watch that stuff on the stream, and you felt like you was there. You know what I'm saying? It was cool as hell. Man, he went and talked to Teddy Long, and Teddy Long was telling stories about his dad and stuff, and they just introduced themselves and just the man just and he's so respectful, especially to the older guys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, shout out to Zilla too. But look, bro, let's get into it, man. Saturday, day one, if you're ready. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Are you ready? Excuse me. So we started off with the Usos and LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory and ISO Speed. You knew what was going to happen. It happened. I thought it was cool what they did at the end when ISO Speed jumped off the top of the turnbuckle, or not the turnbuckle, but the pole in front behind that the turnbuckle is connected to. You know, I'm still not an LA Knight guy. Is it a delay?
Nah, I hear you. You talking about you
Okay.
still not LA Knight guy. I don't really. I mean, you a hater with certain people anyway. So I mean, I get it.
Hey,
You
look,
know,
hey, peep the shirt.
yeah.
Deal.
I mean, again, and I feel you about LA Knight. It ain't like I'm not like a huge LA Knight fan. But it is what it is. He definitely, to me, and we said it before. It's like he's a knockoff between The Rock and Stone Cold put together, and then boom, you got LA Knight. And
It's, I
so I mean,
think it's almost like LA Knight is if you took The Rock and Stone Cold and they had a baby with Down syndrome and LA Knight came out.
I ain't gonna say Down syndrome because the guys put together, and he's super over,
His
and
catchphrases.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's a part of the
yeah,
gimmick that he's
yeah, I
over.
get it. He's a catchphrase guy. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even then, he really not bad in the ring. What I mean, if you really watch him wrestle, I mean, but it is what it is.
I like the little pop. I
Well,
mean, he got the little pop up elbow and all that stuff, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm just
I
not
just,
into it, man. I'm just not into it.
yeah. I mean, I
If
get
he's
it.
there, if he's there, he ain't. It don't matter to me regardless. You know,
I understand that,
would you,
and
would you have rather seen the Usos against the Vision for the tag team titles?
yeah. But I also would like to see LA Knight in another match on Mania. I think he's one of the ones that should be on Mania, though. And
Yeah,
I really feel like that. To your point, though, yes, I would have rather just see the whole thing with ISO speed. I don't want to call it stupid because I'm not trying to disrespect ISO speed and him being a major YouTube influencer and got all the followers and stuff. So I'm not trying to disrespect ISO speed. I think it's great that WWE, he had viral moments and taking the spear from Braun Breaker and Royal Rumble 2025, all this other stuff. Or when Randy Orton worked him over WrestleMania 40, when he was prime in the prime bottle and stuff.
yeah,
So I get it. But my thing is that okay? Now y'all putting him into a wrestling match. Of course, I mean I know other celebrities work. You got Bad Bunny and Logan Paul used to be the celebrity, and we just had Jelly Roll at SummerSlam last year, and I get it, but yeah, I would rather be a tag team match. For the tag titles, but also when we talk about LA Knight, I think he should
yeah.
have a match on the card too. I'm
You think
glad
we
they
would have
didn't.
had one if Bronson Reed or somebody wouldn't have been hurt?
You know what? You know what? I ain't even think about it like that, but
Yeah,
that probably would have been because we already know that it was supposed to be Braun Breaker and Seth.
yeah,
So that would make sense for it to be Braun Breaker. I mean Bronson Reed and probably because LA now obviously was feuding with the Vision anyway. So
Right.
that's probably what direction they probably would, had written down in a little, notepad, and it just didn't come to fruition because of injury.
Right. Right.
And I think the whole 6-man tag was just to get him on the show,
Yeah.
and that's just what it was. But the match itself, like you just talked about earlier, we talked about the highlights of we kind of predictable. We it didn't hurt Vision losing because they tag champions, but the titles wasn't on the line. Of course, they turned on Speed or whatever because of
Yeah.
shenanigans, and
Yeah.
they was gonna Logan Paul was gonna take him out, and of course they helped Speed, and of course he did the jump off the top of the pole and on to Logan Paul, which was I'm sure was a viral moment.
Yeah.
But match wasn't very long. Start out the show, ESPN2.
Yeah. It was your free match. You got two free.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I took it for what it was. I didn't put much stock into it anyway,
Mhm.
and so it didn't wow me, but I didn't expect it to wow me. So it
Right.
was what it was.
Yeah. I like how the Usos came out on different sides, but then they met. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They had on their not typical, but they had on their white that they usually wear at WrestleMania, but it was a lot of colors involved, and they were clean. They always clean.
You,
Um,
since we right at the Usos, and we talked about the whole interview with Cameron. Jey Uso said one thing in the Cameron interview that was eye opening to me. He talked about the colors. He said
mhm.
him and his brother loved Ultimate Warrior, and that's where they got all wearing all the colors and stuff from. Especially when they first broke into the main roster and stuff. Like they were very colorful, and he said that
Yeah,
was because they was big fans of Ultimate Warrior. So I thought that was very intriguing. I was like,
yeah,
oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. That's what the face paint came from as well, because
Makes
they were
sense.
big Ultimate Warrior fans. So
Okay.
yeah. Um, I, I tell you another thing he said in that interview, and I know we're kind of backtracking now, but he said he's having the most fun he's had being back with his brother right now.
Yeah.
And so I think, I think they're going to still be a tag team and keep moving in that direction. But I don't know, man. I still keep looking back at him hollering orders and think something's up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, we gonna see.
Yeah. Because tomorrow, today, it's Monday.
The story continues.
Yeah. And it's like the season starts over. You know what I'm saying? So now it's everything's going to be new. You're going to have some things that continue to carry on, but you're going to get a lot of, so we're going different places. You know what I'm saying? We get to see some new stuff. So I'm excited. They're going to bring some people up, and yeah, man, on Shannon Sharp, he admitted Jada Parker, that's his girl. How you feel about that? You got heat with with main event Jey Uso now.
Yeah, his daddy already blocked me, so I mean maybe it just meant to go down, man.
Hey,
So
man.
is Larry and Evan gonna have to take the titles? Well, they don't have the titles, but
Right.
are we gonna have a match with the Usos one day?
That's what it seems like where we're headed. It seems like you're getting us blackballed from the bloodline.
Damn, now he taking my girl, and
You know what I'm saying? All
yeah,
you did was flood his inbox with welcome to wrestling videos.
I know.
Maybe we ain't good enough, dog. We ain't got what it takes. We'll
Man,
keep doing it, dog.
I know that's right.
Yeah, man. But let's talk. What about Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre? Jacob Fatu had his entrance is fire anyway. Literally, you know what I'm saying? How the flames come up and they come up to the beat of the song. Doom,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, come out. But they had the with the
The
baton.
fire thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the Samoans that was out there. That was cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that went pretty much the way we thought it was gonna go. Both the first two matches we both called. We
Right.
knew Usos was gonna win with LA Knight because it doesn't hurt the vision because they get to blame it on our show speed. It's exactly what happened. And we knew Jacob was gonna go over and knew they was gonna fight, knew it was gonna be a good one. And we also know your boy is going to shoot a movie anyway. So he's gonna be off TV for a while anyway. So just give us a quick breakdown of the match, man, and just I think we was pretty much on the same page.
Yeah, I thought and you gotta think it was one of the first things we saw yesterday.
Mm,
Um Definitely physical. We knew it was gonna be that way. Weapons, tables, and chairs and stuff, all that stuff was involved. Drew McIntyre looked like he came straight from Game of Thrones in his
yeah,
entrance.
yeah.
I mean, he looks the part.
They
He's a
both look like they
badass.
could have been on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, yeah, like for real, for real. So I thought they nailed both their entrances, their entrance. I thought it was very physical, just like we knew it was going to be. My only issue with this match in particular, which was kind of like my issue on the others that we're going to talk about, is they just didn't get a whole lot of time.
Man,
And, I kind of felt like, I mean, and it was physical. I'm not saying the
yeah,
match didn't live up to, we kind of expected what it was going to be,
yeah,
but I just kind of felt a little underwhelmed because I kind of felt like they could have maybe given maybe five more to kind of tell more of that story, especially if Drew's going to be off TV for a while. Um, I was kind of looking for a little more brutality, where it's like,
yeah.
okay,
A
you
reason
know,
why he should be on
yeah,
TV. Not because
it's
he's
almost like,
because he got his ass whooped.
yeah, like it's like, okay, when Punk and McIntyre, I know it's a Hell in a Cell, but after that match, you understood why both of them wasn't on TV for a while.
Right, right.
I didn't get that. I know it wasn't a Hell in a Cell match. It was no non-sanction, but I still didn't get. I felt wanting, like I was left still wanting more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
Well, hell, how could they go long when you got commercials and you got a 3-minute timeout that just says, we'll be back in a minute? How the hell can they have long matches?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Bro, I mean, god dang, I only need to go to the bathroom like once or twice. I don't need to go every time the match is over with because you're giving me
Man.
commercials, ads, vignettes, and then you take another whole 3 minutes of just nothing but blank ESPN screen.
Yeah, that was very frustrating.
Yeah, why are we having TV timeouts? You know what I'm saying? When you already just had one. You had a commercial, now then you have a TV timeout.
Yeah, they never. I just felt like the match times for WrestleMania never be this short. Now, don't get me wrong; they always have matches where it doesn't go as long as others, but especially since they done split the card up,
Mm,
it's different when they have like 10 or 11 matches because it's like, okay, well, they got to get through this. But since they got 6, 7 matches with this format, they normally like 10 minutes is like a lot of times the lowest they may go. And then you got like a bunch of 15-minute matches and main event about 25 to 30.
right.
They had like damn near every match was under, they only had one match that was longer than 15 minutes,
Mm,
night one.
yeah.
So that was, and to your point, the commercials was just like, gee whiz, you know what I mean? So, And it's all about the mighty dollar with TKO. Everything they
I mean,
doing
I
is,
tell you, man,
man, everything they doing is like,
it's so corporate. It's so
yeah,
corporate. That's all it is. It's all about the dollar.
but even these matches night one, especially night one, I don't think these matches was really bad. It's just they didn't have enough time to, it's WrestleMania. You hype it up. You take the Liv Morgan and the Stephanie Bakir match, and it's
Mhm.
like they had like 8 minutes, 7, 8 minutes, and it's like they didn't really get the build up was one of the best build ups.
Right. Yeah. That was like, so you were waiting on to watch that match. You knew that
Yeah,
was
and
gonna be, and
it was
then
like,
the entrance and her celebrating with Dom was longer than the match was. And so how can you, I mean, how can you say, oh, she was a great champion? Well, no, she wasn't. She got beaten 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then you have, 6 minutes of freaking commercials and blank screen.
right,
You just sitting there twiddling your thumbs and ain't nothing you can do about it.
nothing you can do about it.
No. And we all just sit here paying for it because we love wrestling. It's
Yeah,
only,
we
it's
do.
only so many indie shows in AEW that you can watch if you're a real wrestling fan. I mean, I'm not gonna miss WrestleMania. Hell, I'm not gonna miss Backlash. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I want to watch, but they making it hard on you, boy, and they making it hard on a lot of people, and that's why attendance was down and it wasn't sold out.
right.
You saw spaces open, especially up top, and them the cheapest tickets. I think somebody said the cheapest ticket they found was $800 a piece, and they was at the very top. You wouldn't know who was down there. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch it on the
Yeah,
screen the whole time. Well, hell,
yeah,
then
in
go
the
watch it on
stadium.
TV.
Yep, yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. You get to say I went to WrestleMania, and we might have to go that route one day. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But $800 hotel, airplane ticket. I think a lot of people walked out Saturday night kind of second guessing themselves.
yeah.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I can't believe this is the only vacation I'm taking all year. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what some people did. Now, don't get it twisted now. Some people sit there, man, you talk to these people at these different conventions. They do it every year.
Right.
They save up all year long just to do that. I think it was a lot of people walked out Saturday night. It was like, hey, man, I done spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's what you gave me. You know what I'm saying? You talked about
That
Liv
8 minute
Morgan.
matches. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Liv Morgan, so we ain't got to go into that. We did have a return with Paige. Crowd went crazy for her.
That was one of the highlights of
Yeah,
night one.
I thought it was cool as hell how Nia Jackson, Last Legend, had the demolition outfit, but it was white.
Yeah, yeah.
And girly.
Paying
You know,
homage.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool as hell. You know, yeah, that was, and the white was killing it too.
Yeah, well.
Imagine if Demolition was in this era, and they wear black all the time, and then WrestleMania they switch it up, black and
Yeah.
gold. That would have been crazy.
Yeah. Change up the color scheme for WrestleMania. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they had them draws with them straps on. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Draws and straps. I can't take you serious. You're not scary. You're not scary. You're not. The face paint does nothing for you when you got draws and straps on.
Hey, you heard Double A now. He said they were scary in the ring.
Hey, we can talk about that shit they can do to us now.
And Double A said they were scary in the ring.
Hey, I mean, I hear you, but me as a whenever, however old I was, looking at them, especially now, and I turn on the TV, hell no, there's nothing scary about that. The way they walked to the ring and the outfit they had on then,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sold. But once you took all that off and got ready to run, I'm like, come on, man, you got a gray elbow pad and draws and straps on. I feel uncomfortable.
Dude, you sound like Coach Dunley at the halftime Friday night. What's your point? Who you been yelling at, man? Hardy man, City.
I'm gonna tell you like this right here, right now. You refer to me as Coach Donnelly again, me and you ain't friends no more.
City.
Coach Donnelly is not in the Welcome to Wrestling Hall of Fame. Yeah, and it's got to be a unanimous vote. You'll never get that one. No, it gonna be like Murphy. Never get in. Never get in. It's always gonna be somebody. Always be that.
Well, I got 3 home runs, man.
Hey man, we're having a good time here. We was having a good time on this here show, and then you had to bring up Coach Donnelly. I got to remember where we were at because it got pissed off.
He's speaking clear now.
Had to give me an old swig.
Oh man, well, we was talking about Last Legend, and they wearing it, but you talk about the demolition gear.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm through talking about that. They look like broke down male strippers when they put that on, man.
Yeah. Well, back to the match. Of course, it was a great moment with Paige and
returning, and yeah. And thanks to Nikki Bella, we got tag team champs, new tag team champs with Paige and Brie Bella. Now, how's that gonna work out? Because Nikki's gonna be cleared at any moment. Because they thought she was gonna be cleared and she just in a boot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess that would probably be the story in itself. Where
but the only reason they won was because of her and that crutch. Like they cheated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, again,
heel win.
Yeah, so maybe they kind of been,
maybe that's the issue that they come up with.
Well, they've been heels though, the Bellas. So maybe it's going to be some type of fallout with Paige, obviously, or you would think some kind of way.
Be mad.
We'll see.
We could have won the right way. We didn't have to cheat. We didn't need you to do that.
Or maybe Nikki just could be like, y'all won because of me,
right.
and
wasn't for me.
Could do it without me. Yeah.
All that diva stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see how it play out. That's gonna be interesting. I guess we'll see more on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about Gunther and Seth already and Braun Baker returning. We talked about that earlier, but Braun Breaker did return and cost Seth the match. It was a quick one too.
Yeah, it was quick by terms of what they should have had one of them 20-minute matches.
Right. Right.
I think they went by. I timed it about 13 or 14 minutes.
Yeah, I
Now I
was
will.
gonna say 12 something. Yeah.
I will say though, the match in itself, I really thought, which didn't surprise me. Um, I really thought it was a good match though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, especially for what they both can do, and you know they got their guy had it chops in, and Seth doing his thing, and
Yeah.
it really picked up, um, and then of course, like you said, it was just that was the problem. They could have used 5 to 7 more minutes to tell more of the story that they was telling. But again, we kind of figured that we didn't know exactly how it was going to end, but we both kind of figured that Gunther was going to win some kind of way,
Yeah,
and
but
it
we
wasn't.
knew it wasn't gonna be clean though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
knew that.
So the Braun Breaker thing definitely was predictable in our eyes.
Yeah.
And it was good to see Braun back, you know,
Man, that
and
run
continue
down
that
the
story.
ring, that run down that ramp was crazy.
Man,
But he was getting it.
man, yeah, 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 yeah.
I tell
So
you, I tell you what, man. I did notice this. Like Seth had his old school heel, uh, all black on with the little gray inserts. But
yeah,
wasn't nothing crazy. It was that the Seth Rollins, the architect. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
Yeah. So I thought his stuff was clean, but it looked like some old stuff he used to wear. It didn't look like it was new. You know, it looked
right,
familiar.
right.
If you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man, I dug it. I dug everything about it. I mean, you knew Gunther was gonna
Yeah,
win. You can't retire everybody and just be losing. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like they gotta
right,
keep it's gotta be understood, but it ain't always gotta be clean either.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? And to save the other guy. You know what I'm saying? So it with the way it went down is it makes it where Seth Rollins can focus on Braun Breaker and not even talk about Gunther, and Gunther can move on somewhere else.
right,
He's gonna
right,
mention that he did it, but now it's on to whoever else.
right,
Because Seth got to focus over here because you the one cost me the match, and I was beefing with you before anyway.
right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying? So we're gonna maybe we get that in SummerSlam.
right.
So, but yeah, hey man, main event.
Well, hold on.
We gotta talk about uh
Becky, AJ,
and AJ. Yeah,
which is going to be a lot of the same of what we've been talking about.
yeah,
Uh, no, not a lot of time. I didn't think that match was bad either. You know, and then you know we got to think AJ. I mean, she been away. She been this or what a 6 match back. I mean,
yeah,
or fifth or whatever. You know, because you had the mixed tag, the Survivor Series. Then she won the title from at Elimination Chamber. Then
yeah,
then
3 times.
She had a match on Raw. When she defended the title, was it Bailey or was she win against?
Mhm. Yeah,
And now Becky
yeah,
again. So you know, it was like we know she wasn't gonna be a long-term champion, and we really don't know her contract status, and kind of
yeah.
figure she gonna continue.
We didn't expect her to be a long-term employee.
Right, right. So that wasn't surprising. I can kind of understand why they probably only got by 8 minutes because maybe I don't know AJ, you know, Ring Russell. I mean, she ain't look bad out there, but at the same time, if it was gonna be one of the shorter matches, I understand why that was one of them. But again, it was a short match, so it was
Right.
kind of like, nah, you know, predictable outcome.
Yeah, yeah. We that's what we both. I think we both called that. Before we get to the main event, we did get John Cena came out again and had a segment. Bianca Belair came out there and revealed that she was pregnant, and so now we know we're not gonna get Jade and Bianca anytime soon. And now we know why she hasn't been back. So, but man, congratulations to them, man, for having their first child. Montez
Absolutely.
Ford and Bianca Belair, man, that's awesome. And I think it's cool how she came out there and told everybody. And I think it's cool that just like Naomi did, you know what I mean? But and
Well,
Johnson, go ahead.
I think back when Becky did that, when she was the champion, and she actually Oscar won thing like the Elimination Chamber or some tournament or something. She was supposed to be no one contender, and then Becky announced that she was pregnant and basically handed the title over to Oscar.
Yeah,
So I just think of that moment, and just like Naomi did when she told the crowd, it's gonna
yeah,
be a new member of the bloodline.
yeah,
So again, shout out Bianca and Montez, good for her. It was like bittersweet, looking at it, because it was like, to your point, like she already been off out of the ring for close to a year
yeah,
already. And we've been
yeah,
hearing the rumor about her finger and all this other stuff. And is she gonna be at the Royal Rumble? No, WrestleMania. What we didn't know anything, and then she came out there, and the way she had her dress on, beautiful dress. Like, we still didn't know, and then when she revealed it, it was like, wow,
right. And then you
so
found out
good.
it wasn't her finger, because ain't no finger ever did that. Ain't no
Yeah,
finger nobody pregnant.
yeah, no, no. Which she could have actually probably started out with a finger injury.
Yeah, no, this,
Yeah,
no, I get it.
but at the same time, like you said, though, she clearly it didn't look like she was 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, she about 4 or 5 months at least.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? At least. I mean, I ain't no expert, you know.
right, right. But so again, that was a bittersweet. Happy for her and him.
Mm,
And but at the same time, like, damn, so now we probably ain't gonna never see her for another year or so.
right.
It, or if ever again in the ring, who knows? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you never know.
Sometimes become mothers and be like,
And fall in love with it, and don't
yeah,
want to leave them every day. But it's
yeah,
a different day though. They got buses and stuff like that. And when they're young like that and they don't go to school, where you just take them on the road with
no, that's true. That's
you.
true.
You know what I mean? And go do this and go do that. And the schedule ain't like it used to be, bro.
Yeah, no, they ain't doing them house shows every night, and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, they ain't working 350 days a year.
right.
Shawn Michaels said, I work 360 days a year. I ride whoever the fuck I want to ride with. They trying to tell him not to ride with somebody he would beef it with.
Yeah,
But HBK was hell, boy.
right.
All right, man. Let's. John Cena did a swell job. I know it was cool to see him, especially in that suit. He went in them jorts, and it was cool what he said about the attendance, and even though the attendance was down, like we talked about, it was down by 10,000 at least.
It was night one. It was 10,000.
Yeah. So yeah, because they had about 50 and some change. It was 58-16, and then he said it was 8-17 for the baby.
The baby, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at the big brain on your boy. But well, let's talk the main event, man. Your boy McAfee was getting his stone cold on when he came out there to the ring. Shooting everybody the bird.
Yeah, he and I know we talked about this, and the whole world been talking about this, and we're McAfee fans. I think the dude's great, as far as what he is to the sports media, TV, and also, he's an NFL punter, but he was a punter. It's not like he was a high profile quarterback or a defensive player that always talks to me that he's a puncher, and he ended up being one of the most popular people in this country. From a podcast with his boys. The whole concept to me is like the dream.
Yeah.
It's almost like that show Entourage, how
Yeah.
the drama advance, even though the story of drama is a has been, Vince up and coming, but then Turtle and E, just the fellas that they just took with them,
Right.
or you think of like LeBron James' story of how his childhood friends and teammates and stuff are like was working, under his umbrella, with their corporation or whatever. And I'm sure there's way more other cases of that, but
Right.
that's
one of
what,
some of the positive stories that you hear about having your people around you that was there earlier.
Right.
Because a lot of times that stuff don't turn out positive when you have your people still around you.
Right. So we know Maggie from that. We know he's a huge wrestling fan. He been in the business for years, even with NXT, Undisputed Era with Adam Cole, baby, and all that. So shout out to McAfee just for what he is and how he promotes the wrestling business and having the people on the shows and being an announcer on Raw and SmackDown and all that stuff. So get that out of the way. Much love and respect to Pat McAfee. But, having him inserted into this storyline when the story of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes did not need no extra celebrities with
It's so much history. This story didn't need no help. And they could have made it so much better without the phone calls and bro. They just had to they could have got personal like Punk and the rest of them did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Punk and Roman Reigns, they kept it personal.
Right.
That's why the build-up is so good.
So, all that being said, I kind of look at the match in itself I know that they hear what the people are saying, because we also heard that Triple H really didn't want to go that direction. It was more of a TKO thing. And we even heard that McAfee really didn't even want to do it.
Right.
So that's out there too. But what I felt like what they did was, okay, the match started, McAfee hit Cody with the microphone, boom. Right. And then it was like it ended up being where Cody started working McAfee over and he put him on the table, and then boom. We knew your boy was going to show up one way or another, right? He had to.
Belly roll.
He came out of nowhere. Like,
roll.
Yeah, and did the elbow from one table to the other one, and then they stretchered McAfee out of there.
I gotta be. You say I'm a hater.
Go ahead, say it.
I'm gonna be a hater for a minute. My boy Jelly, totem pole roll. Lost all that weight, looking great. And you could have got an inch or two up, on the elbow. You know what I'm saying? It was just like even. Table to table. I showed a little evidence. I said, I could have did it way better than that. He was like, whatever, Dad. But he did. He came out that table with that elbow, bro.
He got a job done. The table exploded.
Hey, bro, it was wood and stuff everywhere, dog. You know what I'm saying? But man, shout out to Jelly Roll, man, for getting to live all his dreams, man. This man done winning Grammys and going platinum and getting to fucking wrestle, and all the famous people get all the good shit, man.
Yeah.
That's why we trying to be famous on the podcast. We want a bunch of free shit.
Right. They show us sitting front row at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Right next to the green shirt guy.
Yeah.
We'll beat him up.
Yeah. I want to talk to Rick Rubin. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro. Man, they just showed him and CM Punk just kicking it, talking. You know what I'm saying? That man, Def Jam. Every year.
Right. But okay.
And he ain't sitting at the top either.
Well, definitely not Rick Rubin. But of course, we also know Rick Rubin has a lot of history in the wrestling business. Shout out Smoky Mountain, Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
But so that being said, though, I felt like to please the fans, they purposely got those shenanigans out of the way immediately.
Yeah.
I really felt like that was obviously designed. Well, yeah, but even then, it wasn't right. So we thought, but even then, it was just that moment to. I still felt like it was more to get rid of McAfee altogether. You know, but as far as when that happened, they stretched McAfee out of there, and you heard Michael Cole and Wade Barrett mention that Randy Orton been nursing his back. We already know he had a history of back injuries, so it played a major part in the match because every move that Cody did sold Randy's back to a point where we didn't know if this motherfucker back was hurt for real or not. You know,
oh, that's old school though.
Yeah.
And, go to work. You know what I mean?
And then another thing, which I know me you know we touched on it earlier, was how Cody really, it's like he kind of tapped into this heel thing.
Yeah. Well,
because
it was Rock Hogan a little bit.
Right.
It gave you that little bit of feel because they turned on Cody as soon as he got there.
Right.
And the entrance was hard. He came out there, usually that gold. He had that gold mask on this time.
Yeah, buddy.
It was hard, man, because he had to go, man.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. But even like when Randy started bleeding and Cody wiped the blood on his chest and, the crowd had a reaction to it, and then they had got a little to a point where near the end where, it was like, they was hitting each other with RKOs and, Cody cutters. I mean, it was like, they were doing the thing where they hitting each other moves,
Yeah.
What you see that a lot, especially with Cody, the past few years. I remember that was a thing where that was a no-no where you don't do your opponent's moves. They real sensitive about that. Yeah. But now you kind of see that, So I thought the match itself, like the wrestling match itself, I thought it was a good match. Now, where they lost me, and maybe it was just a position of how it happened and where it happened. But when Cody poked Randy in the eye, right? Another one that heel stuff. You remember he also gave him a low blow.
Yeah.
But when he poked him in the eye, Randy couldn't see, and then he RKO'd Little Nate.
Yeah.
But it was like in the position where he did it, it really didn't make no sense. I get that he couldn't see, but if somebody in front of you poke you in the eye, why would you RKO somebody who's standing behind you?
Right.
I mean and again, I get he wasn't supposed to be able to see.
Right. If somebody poke you in the eye in front of you, you were just looking at them.
Yeah. They kind of
go forward, not backwards.
Yeah,
and then he ran and got behind me.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't very believable. And I know it's a show and it's wrestling. Now we're being nitpicky, but that was a major part in the match, though. And that kind of like
the main thing for wrestling is to make you think it's believable. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and that they kind of
that's the
lost me.
gimmick. Yeah,
That's where they lost me. That's where they lost me in this match, and then of course, so we thought then, which was kind of like a cartoon to me. Actually, it was more hilarious to me.
that
Now it's
shit
like a
was funny.
comedy.
Yeah, it was funny, man. He ran out there with that referee shirt.
Man, yeah, yeah, that was hilarious, bro. And then Michael Cole was like, "Is this even legal?"
Right,
Then of course he did the 1-2. He did get 3 count, and Randy gave him that Randy look, and we knew what was coming.
right. RKO.
RKO,
Yeah,
boom. So then that knocked McAfee out, and it distracted Randy because it focuses on the RKO, and then he got up, and then Cody he was
got the low
distracted,
blow.
and
Yeah, got the low blow in
yeah,
and the crossroads. Yeah,
yeah. So and it's always a funny to me too when the referees take the ref bump, they laid there like they're unconscious or just severely hurt, and then like clockwork, soon as McAfee get RKO'd and Cody did his thing, the low blow and the crossroads, then all of a sudden little Nate, oh, now you roll over in time to make the 3 count. Like, oh, okay. So that
hell
that
of a
was
job.
the problem with that match. I didn't think the match itself was bad. I also like how they did let them wrestle without the shenanigans until
Yeah,
the end.
yeah,
But they lost me with the RKO after the finger poke, and then then all of that. It's just like that kind of ruined the match for me. Again, I
yeah.
thought it was a good match, but it kind of like you know
Yo, the nitpicking. You sound like Bret Hart. Nah, this is not this.
too many chair shots.
Right, right. What do you need to do that for? I mean, why? You know, because nobody wants to see nobody hold a headlock for 2.5 minutes.
Right.
And you go to
Yeah.
commercial and you're still in the headlock. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Move 937.
Right.
Armbar. Yeah.
Man, the Saskatchewan stretch.
Then he go back to armbar.
Hi guys. But yeah, man. So that's how night one ended. And
Did you see that punt though at the shenanigans after the match though?
Bro. Okay, so Cody won, but Randy stood tall. Cause yeah, that was one of them old school, that was old school Randy Orton. Pat McAfee could have never punted like that.
Right.
But yeah, I did think that was cool. Like that's one of the stories that's going to carry on.
Absolutely.
But I mean, hell, man, Cody's the only one that retained his title.
Well, him and Panther.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. We'll get there. All right, man. But yeah, after that, Cody, Randy stood with the title and all that, and then of course, they drop it and take off. But that story is definitely not over. That's one of them that's going to carry on, and do we see a heel turn? Because they already, if it happened at Mania, we can see what kind of reaction he get tonight on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be there.
Right.
Because it's the night after Mania.
Right.
That show going to be packed. So let's just jump in tonight too, man. At one of the first match and one of the biggest surprises. I couldn't believe it. And we'll talk tonight, and then we'll talk we'll compare days when we get done. So, you know what I'm saying? I won't even say nothing about it. Let's just talk. Yeah, we'll talk night 2, and then we'll compare days. So, yeah, man. Oh, one thing we said the other night on the preview, we know it's not going to be a squash match. It was damn near a squash match. And, you know, Obafemi's a big dude. And Brock did get a couple of Germans in and you know, F5 and everything. But, you know, they did a little collide and everything. But it was quick. That was a quick match. You talking about quick matches. That was quick. And I could not believe when that man took his gloves and boots off and started crying. And I think it's all the work. They kept saying they gotta confirm. And Corey Graves kept talking about you know, we have a clear head in the morning and stuff like that. You know, you make draft decisions and stuff like that. Did it look genuine?
I think he done, bro.
You don't think he waits a SummerSlam in Minnesota? Hell, AJ retired in freaking Saudi Arabia.
I mean,
oh shit! Like what?
The reason why, because one, the way he lost.
Yeah.
And I don't see him take another L to go out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it shocked me. Now, as far as the match itself, of course, we talked about it. We both predicted Brock, not because we just didn't think they were gonna pull that trigger because Oba been, you know how the traditionally WWE does it, where whoever been getting the upper hand in the build normally loses the match, right?
Right.
Plus we never seen this happen to Brock Lesnar, you know, and even when the thing happened with Goldberg, which was a squash match, he got his win back. So now this situation, I didn't expect it to be a long match because I didn't see them going 10, 15 minutes. I thought at the most it'd be about 8 minutes or so, maybe one of 7, 8 minute matches.
Right.
This match really went about 5 minutes. I didn't expect it to be 5 minutes, but I didn't expect it to be a long match. I kind of expected for what it was, though, like far as explosive.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect I thought Brock to get a little more offense. Yeah, he got to a point where, of course, Brock powdered. He made Brock powder out of the ring, and then Paul's talking to him, and then Oba made a mistake. Oba went and grabbed him by the hair, you know, from outside the ring, and then Brock, you know, jerked him on the rope, and then Brock got the upper hand. That's when Brock was in his bag, couple of Germans, and like I said, he F5'd them and all this other stuff. He got a little bit of offense in, but then when he F5'd them, and then dude got up and choke slam Brock, then it was like, whoa, you know, and then of course obviously the fall from grace, and it was very shocking, you know, to see Brock go down like that. Then he laid there, which was shocking. Like he laid there, yeah, you know, and then he finally kind of turned over. You know, after Oba kind of celebrated and was going up the ramp, then he took the gloves off, and it's like, wait a minute, is he doing what we think he's doing? And then, yeah, that was very shocking. I didn't expect that because the rumor is SummerSlam. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But I didn't think it was. I mean, you could be right. Maybe it is work. Maybe he can. He retiring and then he jumps Oba tomorrow, or maybe a month from now.
We've seen it before. Mark Henry. You know.
Yeah.
Mark Henry had us good. Like I was in full belief.
Yeah, but even then, he did it right away though. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
wasn't like he didn't come back a week later or nothing.
right. Yeah.
But you're right though. The Mark Henry very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
When he did it. And
And,
but then
and what,
again, we saw the Undertaker leave his gloves and boots in the ring at WrestleMania 33, and he came back. I mean, I know we talk about the Undertaker, but we thought 33 was done after the match with Roman, which was a terrible performance.
right.
And then he came back the next year and did the squash match with Cena, which that's a whole nother story in itself because he said he trained for a longer match, but they did the squash match, and
Can't wait to hear the story on that one.
yeah.
They got
So
to be coming out with something with Cena in his last. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have something. That would be crazy.
yeah, I would like to hear why they did that. But
Yeah.
but even to the point, with this whole Brock thing, it definitely caught me and everybody off guard. But I did. The crowd definitely showed their appreciation for Brock Lesnar, though, and I know he felt that. You know what I mean? Thank you, Lesnar, and the whole thing, and then you could tell, his whole interaction with Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
the hug. It was very emotional, actually. Very shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's where it was hard to be emotional because you couldn't believe it was happening.
yeah, yeah,
And now we're sitting here talking about it. It's like, damn, you got Cena, AJ, your boy from New Japan,
Tanahashi.
Hashi, and now Brock Lesnar. Like,
Yeah,
bro, it's definitely a new day and a new era.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And then we think about the Randys and the Edges and the Jerichos, and
mhm.
like them guys ain't far behind.
Right?
You know,
Yeah, man.
like,
It's
we
very
watching
eye
our
opening.
we watching the like truly the end of an era,
Yeah, really.
like right before our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, we've been
CM
watching
Punk.
20
How much
something years.
longer is Punk gonna go?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So yeah.
You know, but CM Punk, man, I can't wait to talk about that. Okay, let's get moving along. Let's
All
talk
right.
about we'll talk about the ladder match real quick. Um, New Rey Mysterio is gonna come out there with something crazy on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's WrestleMania. Yeah. He always show out.
But yeah, man. Overall, of course, and they didn't have much time either. But they did their stuff. They did their thing. Your boy Javon Evans did his thing in this match.
Oh, absolutely.
The young OG, and he better keep working them legs because that's what makes him so unique. Just the hops and everything he was doing, man. The vertical is crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just super athletic. And can just do some crazy stuff. But they did some stuff. You knew Rusev wasn't gonna win. I think we both said Penta was gonna win.
Right.
It was kind of, he came out there like that, like a samurai almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard. Yeah, man. I mean, it was what you thought it was gonna be. Dragon Lee, he showed me something tonight. He was already good, but he showed me that aggressiveness is I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think everybody, Ray did his thing. Everybody looked good.
There was three moves that really stood out. That's saying a lot because ladder match is always crazy, and we
Yeah,
knew with the participants that it was going to be phenomenal. Even like the role Rusev played in it was great.
right.
But
Taking the big bump too.
but yeah, that was nasty. That was pretty. That was real cool how they did that. But
Yeah,
JD hit that Spanish fly.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that
And
was
they nailed
crazy.
it too. It was on the money too.
It was on the money, but then that Canadian destroyer, I mean the Mexican destroyer
Yeah,
on JD on that ladder.
yeah.
Oh my God, bro. That
And the
Michael
ladder
Cole said, JD is dead. And then he hit another Mexican destroyer later, and it was just like, oh, like, and you already talked about young OG doing like, oh, that OG cutter.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, like man. I heard them on the pre-show testator and them was like, that's currently the match of the year so far. I don't know about that, but I kind of hate to call it matter match a match of the year because it's kind of like unfair because they have more potential of car crashes and big
Right.
bumps and stuff. So
It's
yeah,
almost like a
it's
showcase for the guys in there.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. So it's what it
go out there and
is.
show us what you're made of.
Yeah, it's what it is, but they definitely delivered. They definitely
Yeah,
delivered. So,
yeah. And plus, like, it's not a new thing anymore. You know what
right,
I'm saying? Like, we've seen so many. You know,
right.
it's hard to. They're always going to be compared to the Dudleys and the Hardys and the Edge and Christians and stuff like that.
And the HBK Razor Ramon, the
Razor
first
Ramon,
one.
yeah. So it's kind of hard. And some of those Money in the Banks were ridiculous. So those are all going to get compared to stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to call that a match of the year because you've seen so many that have outshined this one. But
Right.
they did their thing though.
Yeah, it was a good one though. It
Yeah,
ain't one of those. I wasn't like I seen better. I mean, we seen better, I, but they it was a good one. It was but like especially with Javon Evans, and we seen a different level of athleticism.
yeah,
I mean, we've seen guys like Kofi and obviously Jeff Hardy do some crazy stuff, and I mean, like you said, you've seen one ladder match, you've seen them all,
mm,
but but Javon Evans, like you said, his leaping ability was just and then like going back to that spot when they did with Rusev on the ladder when he tossed Ray and was it Penta that did that, right?
yeah,
He tossed Ray and because when it happened, like what is he doing? Oh damn, Rusev! Then he fell back on the ladder, perfect. He caught him
yeah,
and fell back. Like it
yeah.
was
That was
that was
hard though.
they hit their spots, and it wasn't too many times where because when you look at ladder matches, sometimes you see stuff and you be like, oh yeah, they messed up on that one, or damn,
Yeah.
that landing was crazy. I
No, everybody was smooth.
Yeah, they was hitting their spots and some scary stuff, and it was like they nailed it.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I had to give them credit on that one. So shout out to them six competitors.
yeah,
With that, like even you mentioned Dragon Lee, showing a different side of his aggressiveness, and
yeah,
yeah, kudos to them guys. I thought it
yeah,
was a phenomenal ladder match.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, man.
Hmm.
You knew Trick Williams was gonna do something crazy with the entrance and the coat with the train that was like
Yeah,
how long, you know what I'm saying? Like a wedding dress. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
know women jealous that was watching, and he came out there with Lil Yachty and which um Yachty actually played a pretty decent role as far as a celebrity or somebody you wouldn't think be involved. Like again, they kind of flooded us and kind of fed us with celebrity this year. But I kind of think like the thing they were just he was hyping him up and giving him props on the way down there and got involved a little bit and it was clean. You know what I'm saying? How he did it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't ugly. How, some celebrity will do something look nasty.
And
You know,
he took a pretty good bump too. Got thrown to the guardrail, and
yeah. So I thought it was actually
yeah,
cool. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know, man. I hope it's something, bigger for Sami Zayn for that short title run. But I know, I mean, Trick Williams ain't, bro. He ain't no chump by no means.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. He and I know it was really about the moment. Again, we wasn't surprised at the outcome. We knew that the entrance was going to be a thing, the crowd and whip that trick. And, uh, we, again, it was another very predictable match.
right,
But I also felt like I fell victim. This was reminding me of night one as far as the time frame. Like, this was about 7 minutes. And they told a little story. I mean, Sammy got his stuff in the
mm,
Blue Thunder Bomb and the exploder suplex and with the ring apron and all. So I mean, Sammy is Sammy, right? We all these wrestlers had their same moves, their same offense, and
right,
Sammy
right.
hit his spots. And of course they playing on where the crowd booing him, and he's acting more and more like a heel.
Mm,
Um, so very predictable, but then and it made sense for Yachty to get involved because Sammy was fucking with him, right?
right,
Which
right.
rightfully so. I mean, they've been calling the man Gingerbread Man and all this stuff past couple of weeks, but it was Sammy that went to Yachty and threw him into the barricade and stuff. It wasn't like Yachty did something to him for
Right.
a change, So it was like, so it made sense for Yachty to get involved when he did. It was like a
Yeah.
receipt,
Yeah.
and of course, and then I like how Sammy about to hit the haluva kick, and then he got hit with the trick shot. You know,
Yeah.
when he was doing that was a cool ending in itself. But
Right.
the match itself was, again, it was a short match, but it was about the moment. Trick getting the big title win and celebrate the crowd. And I thought it was a cool moment seeing his mom and dad front row, and he went
Yeah.
to hug them and all of that. So shout out to Trick and the new United States champion. And I'm just curious to see, to your point about Sammy, which we know that the heel turn definitely coming. So I'm just curious to see what happens on. They might not address this until SmackDown because they can't
Right.
have everything on Raw.
Right.
You know,
Right. Because you gotta
so
have your
this
main folks on there.
right. So they may wait to SmackDown for this one. I'm assuming, but I'm kind of curious to see how their story, and then are they going to immediately do Trick and Carmelo Hayes, or I don't think the Sammy thing going away right away either. So
Right.
we'll see how that goes going forward.
All right. All right. Well, let's go to Demon and Dom. I mean, it was good. You knew exactly what you was gonna get. You knew you was getting
Yeah.
the Demon. You knew he was gonna go over. Dom's still the AAA champion. He's still the best luchador ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He had a cool entrance.
yeah. And the Demon was cool. Like, you get to see that. Like, you're not gonna see it that much. We haven't seen it in forever.
3 years, WrestleMania 39.
Right. So, I mean, it was all cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't, again, and we keep going back to this, it wasn't the match you thought you was going to get because of the time restraints.
They got a little more time than the other ones, though. They got about 12, 13 minutes, though.
Right. But again, that's that's one of those matches when you think you're going to get about 20.
I kind of,
You don't think that?
nah, yeah, I know we it's our opinions, but I
Yeah,
kind of figured on the card, I kind of felt like they was going to get, as far as the Sunday card, I felt like they was going to probably get the least time. You know, I mean,
yeah,
'cause I think they got more time than Sammy and Trick, which doesn't surprise me.
right.
But I didn't think that they was going to get 20 minutes though, because I saw how the other matches wouldn't even getting 20. I mean, Cody and Randy only got 22 minutes,
Right, right.
so but then again, to your point though, yeah, they could have told more of the story with a
And
little
then
more
again,
time.
like you say, here we go nitpicking when the match wasn't bad at all.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
You know, and you knew what you was getting. You knew Finn Balor was going to win, so it was a predictable match. I thought it was going to be. I just thought it was going to be a little more than what it was. I
I
guess.
got you.
I guess I kind of built it up more in my head than what I got. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was thinking that was going to be the match of the weekend. That
Right.
I
Right.
kind of had that in my mind, like they really gonna go out there and do something, and I just didn't get that, you know. But I wasn't disappointed. I guess you feel what I'm saying?
Right. Now I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, like it ain't like they stunk up the place, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but anyway, um, let's talk Jade and Rhea. So every women's title changed hands. Got new world champion, new WWE champion, new tag team champions, new intercontinental champion. So I think Jade really showed out in this match, to tell you the truth. Even though
I
she
agree.
lost,
I
even
agree.
even though she lost, I think she really showed. She did some stuff she's never done before. I have never seen her this smooth,
I
and
agree.
she really showed out. And I think she's really coming into her own. And
I agree. I
yeah,
agree.
and like I say, she got a little crew now. You know, they're gonna do some things with her. So, and I don't think their story's over with.
I agree. I was thinking that when I was watching the match, uh, her and Rhea had good chemistry, which is Rhea,
Yeah,
but I think it really showcased how good Rhea is because Rhea was one of the few, if not the only one, that really was able to pull that out of Jade. You know,
yeah,
um, I agree because Jade being the big moment, WrestleMania, you're the champion, you're going against arguably the top female in WWE the past 3 years.
right.
Uh, hey, Jay graduated tonight, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm
she,
with you on that.
even though she didn't win, she didn't retain the title. This loss did not hurt her. It
Right.
was like she
She,
probably came out better because of the performance she had.
that's what I'm saying. She lost,
Yeah,
but she had a lot to celebrate tonight.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A
yeah.
lot to celebrate. And I think
I agree.
I really think she like you said, that was perfect. She graduated.
And even of course the baddies came out there, which uh, the whole weekend, they had activities from folks who didn't get on the card, just like
Yeah,
night one in the live match when Roxanne and Raquel got involved, in that match. But this match, of course, you had the baddies came out there. Then, of course, boom, here's Io Sky,
yeah. And she got
and
to get her look. Yeah.
but it's still 2-on-1.
Mhm.
But the way they did it was believable, especially when
Right.
she hit the over the moonsault thing on both of them, and that completely neutralized the baddies, for them to finish this one-on-one match. I thought it was well done how they did that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, EO got to come out there and do her little thing. That was cool. And of course you got Rhea, who deserves to be the champ too. She deserves a run too.
I mean, she ain't
Not
been
like she
champion,
had
she ain't been champion over a year, so
right. So it's like, she set aside and let other people do her thing. And
yeah,
now it's back her time again. And well
yeah,
deserved. And well deserved.
absolutely.
And the crowd, everybody loves her. So
And another thing we talk about WrestleMania and the attires, even back to Triple H wearing the white boots and all this other stuff.
yeah.
Rhea is real gothic and wear dark colors, and she came on with that white.
Yeah.
You know,
That was slick. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. Hey man, John Cena come back out and said they had what 55,000 a night.
yeah,
Yeah, and the Miz and what's that dude's name? You're toxic.
yeah, yeah,
Kip.
whatever. Kip, Wilson or something. Yeah,
Yeah. First of all, when Cena was like, "Oh, I'm John Cena. Who are you?" You know what I mean? Like John Cena is funny, man. I will give him that. But bro, Danhausen came out there, man, and did the midgets came out there and they said, first of all, just like they said to call them midgets.
Wade Barrett's hilarious, dog.
Nothing. I don't care what anybody ever says. There'll be nothing better than when Bobby Heenan said, "It looks like it's a riot at a daycare center." No commentary of any little person, mini wrestling match, whatever you want to call it, will ever top that comment. And he said that on Nitro, man. I never will forget that for the rest of my life. It looks like a riot at a daycare center. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the brain one of the greatest ever.
All
So
time. All time.
very, very witty, very
R.I.P.
witty,
Bobby
man.
Heenan, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's tired of you.
Or just like when Hogan came out there, whose side is he on? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, he tried to ruin everything.
Yeah.
But it
I
was a
told
well
did what he
made.
did it. Did what he did.
Yeah,
I told you. I
I
told
told you. It's just like he doesn't need Janetti.
you.
Because 2 minutes earlier, he was like, they're better together.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't need Janetti. When he used to,
Oh,
hey, when he used to take off when the NWO would come out.
man.
Oh man, bro, I gotta be at work in 2.5 hours.
Golly, bro. Get the last match here, bro.
Hey, hold on.
Oh,
No,
finish the
no,
Danhausen.
yeah, hold on. No, I don't have. I just gotta wake up in 2.5 hours.
Well, shit.
It's hey man, it's no sweat, man.
Know what you doing tomorrow.
Going to work.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on. But but yeah, when Danhausen came out there and did the 5 knuckle shuffle and all that stuff, man. When he told, I'm a big fan of yours, talking about John Cena.
Right.
It was actually entertaining. It was very entertaining, very
He's
funny.
funny. He's funny, man.
Yeah. And Cena told him it was 55,000 a night, so they had like 106,000 for the,
Total. Yeah.
which I'm sure you counted a lot of people twice. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I get it. It still wasn't sold out. You were still down, and y'all got to do something about the ticket prices, bro. You know what? I said we wasn't gonna say nothing, but you said it earlier. That TKO is all about the bro. They had Slim Jim stickers on the tables. I mean, come on, man. That's a little ridiculous. So we know it's gonna be a table match, but you took the time to put sponsors on the tables. You already got it all over the ring. It looked like a freaking boxing match. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
They getting out of hand, man. You got all them sponsors. What you killing us for? You know?
Right.
You remember in Major League 2 when they was having money problems? They put all them different, they sold all them sponsorships on that.
Right.
It was like a minor league field, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Right.
that's what WWE look like now. They even have folks start having to put sponsors on their gear. Just like they do Golden Boy.
NBA and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. It's getting
Yeah. Or like you
absolutely
said, like
crazy.
them boxers and shit. Well, you
Yeah.
remember even when Brock Lesnar, you remember he had the Jimmy
And Jimmy
Johns.
Johns, yeah, when he first came
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Like when he was a UFC fighter and stuff.
Right.
And they let him do that for a while. So
I mean, I get it, but it's getting crazy, man. It's getting
yeah.
crazy. You had Slim Jim stickers on the tables, and you want people to really take it serious and buy in. There you go. Anyway, let's get into the main event, man, and then we'll talk, 1 and 2. But match of the night, match of the weekend to me. They went at it. They disrespected each other. CM Punk is he's a heel. He's a heel. When he went and put that ooh follow on from that guy in the crowd and then came back in there and did the ooh-wah and was about to do the spear. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he is disrespectful. But I thought the match was great. I thought Roman came, he usually rocked that black and red. He had that black and gold. That was slick. And he had the tribal stuff on his the glove and stuff. Like he was clean, man. And then the match itself, man, they went at it. CM Punk bleeding nasty for a while. I thought the match was great. I thought, like I say, I thought it was the match of the. You talk about a match of the year, like that's going to be in the discussion. What you think? If you ask me,
Well,
and you
first of
should ask.
all, I mean, I want to go back to the entrances. Like they both had a
Oh
great
yeah,
entrance because
yeah,
CM Punk came out. That was his Ring of Honor song.
yeah,
And then when he got out through Gorilla, through the stage, then it wasn't a music playing, and it was kind of I was like, okay, what's about to happen now? And then he did his clubbing time, and then of course then his music hit, cause the
yeah,
person out, and then went walked to the ring, and he had that look on his face like his own and popping.
yeah,
I thought it was great. I thought it had a big fight feel.
yeah,
And typical Roman Reigns match where it starts out slow, feeling each other out, and he doing, cause you talk about how Punk is a jerk and be trolling, Roman's the
yeah. He
same
right there.
way, be talking
Yeah,
smack and and be I told you this and that, so great. It was a phenomenal wrestling match.
yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah,
They both got their shit in. I know it's cliche by saying that, but they both they told a great story, man.
yeah,
Even when they was both in the ring and hitting each other with the punches, and they both about to fall over, and then they did double clotheslines and spears and GTSs and the shenanigans outside the ring. Uh, they really went at it. They it it lived up to the hype. it really seemed like they hated each other. I mean, I will say this: it is going to be a bold statement. But if you think of like the WrestleMania main events the past few years, a lot of them have been good. I mean, a lot of people didn't really like the Cody Cena how that played out last year. That's another story. But
Right.
the triple threat with Punk, Seth, and Roman was good. But a lot of that was, I mean, it was a good match. But also a lot of that was because of the Paul Heyman shenanigans. I
Right.
mean, we could take the WrestleMania 39 when Cody lost. That was great, but we still had the involvement of the bloodline, Solo, and all this other stuff, which why Roman won the match. We could take WrestleMania 40
Mm,
when Cody finished the story. Remember, that was a great match.
yeah.
But remember the shenanigans that went along, which fit the story, because everything came full circle with Seth and being his shield and
Yeah.
and just how they're the Rock, and even though it would have been the only thing that would have topped that was if it would have been Stone Cold instead of the Undertaker, which is still great that it was the Undertaker, but if it was Stone Cold and the Rock, that would have really been like the perfect
Yeah. That
ending to
place
that
would have went
story.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it would have really went crazy. But that was a great main event. But the
Yeah.
difference in this main event was that there
One on
was
one.
no there was
Nobody.
no outside shenanigans from nobody. There was
Yep.
no Usos. There was no Rock. There was nobody. It was just them two.
Yep.
And you could tell that going forward, I'm really curious to see how their story going to be because I bet you they beat some respect out of each other.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
uh, I was very pleased with that match. Very pleased. I'm not going. Again, another bold statement. That's probably gonna go down as being one of the best WrestleMania main events ever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like I say, they stole the show. They went on last on Sunday night for a reason.
Yeah,
And if you bet the house on them, you won. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing you can really tell somebody about that man's play. Just go watch it. It's one,
yeah. And it was long. Like it went like
right.
34 minutes or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
because I kept waiting for it to end early, and then I
yeah.
kept looking to see what time it was and how much time we had left. I was like, oh shit, But man, it was so good, man. And then, man, you talk about Braun Breaker, man. When that last spear he gave Punk, well, he was moving across them roads, boy. He
Yeah,
was moving.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
But I mean, they tore the tables up. They tore the ring up. They did everything they were supposed to do, man. And then you know, just a good match, bro. Great match,
Great.
great. So that closed out the night. Closed out the night with him kissing his kids and kissing his wife, and that was cool. You really don't see stuff like that from Roman Reigns.
No.
About his personal life and everything. So I thought that was super cool. Um, night one, night two. And I'm gonna give my opinion. You can give yours, and then we'll call it a night.
All right.
And get ready to enjoy Raw in about 10, however many hours. But night one, night two is WrestleMania. Night two is how you do it. Night two is I'm gonna show you how you do it. I'm gonna show you what I can do. Night two killed it. Night one, like I say, kind of second guessing yourself. Kind of second guessing what kind of WrestleMania is gonna be. Trying not to say, damn, that wasn't all that good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're trying not to say that and trying to come up with positive moments but you want to say, man, if that would have been the only show, boy, it wouldn't have been nothing nice.
No.
You
I
know?
mean, it was some mad people out there in the dirt, online and
Yeah,
YouTube, for night one. A lot of the same complaints, short matches, uh, underwhelming results. It was like night and day, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right there with you. But night two saved it. Night
Yeah, it
two,
is.
I mean, saved it. Did CPR, came back to life and everything because they was headed for disaster.
Boy.
And no disrespect to anybody on the card. I'm this welcome to wrestling, bro. We love wrestling, and we love it all. And, but the time restraints, just the commercials, and like it really hurt the first night. It really did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they had to pivot or whatever and try to work some stuff out, or that's how it was planned. But night two was everything you look for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had the surprise you had the page return and all that stuff, but man, it's like being at an indie show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
6-7 minute matches.
Right. Exactly. That it's funny you said that because that's exactly what I was thinking. Like,
You know, but I that second night, man, second night was everything you could ask for, especially with the main event.
Right.
You know, you had the ladder match, you had a Brock Lesnar retirement, you had new Rhea Ripley and Jade killed it. You know, you had
Right.
then you had the Demon show up, and you haven't seen him in years. And Dominic is over, hated and over. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Over with hatred. But overall, man, I'm not going to grade it and say it with this and that, but I'm going to say the main event, like you said, going to go down as one of the greatest ever. Not the greatest ever, but one of. And definitely could be match of the year when they were talking about the ladder match, because that even killed the ladder match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the match of the weekend. They delivered, and I mean they delivered. But I will tell you this, and you can call it nitpicking or all you want. All them damn commercials was ridiculous. All the advertisements all over the place. I know you got to do it, but I'm sitting there telling you, it would take the air out the sails if you had the first TLC match and you had freaking Slim Jim and Ico Pro stickers on the
Ico Pro.
and an Ico Pro sticker on the doggone table all over the place. Like, give me a break. You know what I
If it
mean?
was WCW, it would have been Ruse.
Oh man. Those were the coolest shoes ever when you was in elementary school before you figured out they weren't cool. You know what I mean? Just because you can hide 50 cents in that pouch.
Yeah.
Get your extra milk at lunch.
I'm about to say Ico Pro. That's funny. Or what's that stacker? What's that stacker? What was that something called stacker?
Man, I know what you're talking about. I still can't remember. But over and all, man, WrestleMania is in the books, man. 42 is gone. They already working on 43. And we'll be right here when 43 come around to talk about it. But I tell you what, man, 41, the first day was disappointing.
Yeah.
Second day, kind of even everything out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So ain't no real disappointments over here. I'm not mad that this person lost. I tell you what, that Brock Lesnar thing hurt a little bit. So as far as like it just adding to the list of guys you've been watching for 20 years, hanging it up, and you ain't gonna see him no more. That joke ain't coming back. If he get done, he might come. Ain't no telling. They break him a check for Saudi Arabia. Ain't no telling, because that's where Mania probably gonna be at next year.
That was supposed to be. Who knows? And I know we kind of shooting it right now, but
Yeah.
you would think, you know how they obviously planned these things out ahead of time, but they got about a whole year. We don't know how long this situation is going to last.
Right.
So, but you would think, I'm sure they may in their mind have a timeline of when they may have to decide to go in a different direction.
Because you gotta get the venue picked, and you gotta start selling tickets.
Yep, tickets, and and all the everything that goes on in that city, and
Right.
yeah, with not just the venue, the stadium venue, but the venues for all the shenanigans and that goes on,
Yeah, the meet and greets, and when they bring all the radio stations in and all the podcasts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
go ahead, short notice, bring it to Atlanta. Let's go.
Right.
WrestleMania 43. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's go.
Yeah. And we'll save you money on the host. We ain't gonna charge you nowhere near John Cena charging. Give us about 10 a piece. We'll be fine.
Right. I'll be out there with my cane.
Hey, I know that's right. Hey, man, it's been Welcome to Wrestling, man. We'll be back next week to talk Raw and see what's going on with these new storylines, see who's been brought up, and just talk all news wrestling. Yeah. It's Welcome to Wrestling, brother. Hey, man.
Welcome to Wrestling.
Yeah, fresh new start tomorrow, baby, or today. Monday Night Raw, fresh start. Welcome to Wrestling.
Welcome to Wrestling, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrestling with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face, I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.